Afrakoma was a 20-year-old young lady living in a small, noisy town. Her life was simple, but not easy. She rented a single room on the outskirts of the town. Cracked boards, wooden shutters, with a rusty padlock on the door. Inside, it was neatly kept. A few books sat in one corner, folded clothes in another, and the foot of her late mother rested on the small wooden shelf near her bed. Her mother had passed away when she was still in basic school. Since then, Afrakoma had grown fast. She moved to town alone after SHS, determined to make something of herself. Her father, back in the village, was aging, and though he had no money, he had always encouraged her, "Keep growing, my daughter. One day things will change." Every day, Afrakoma woke up 5 a.m. to prepare for the day's work. By 7 a.m., she had set out a roadside Indomie stand under a big mango tree near the main junction. The place buzzed with school children, taxi drivers, and workers passing by. Her table was always clean, with shining silver pots, stacks of noodles, crates of eggs, tins of sardines, and a small gas burner. "Indomie with egg, 8 cedis," she would call out. "Indomie with sausage, 10 cedis." She smiled easily, was always polite, and knew most of her customers by name. In the afternoons, she swept the area and rested a little before closing shop in the evening. She sent money to her father every week, sometimes just 100 cedis, sometimes more. One evening, after closing her stand, Afrakoma walked home with a polythene bag of leftover noodles she would eat that evening when she got home. Her slippers slapped against the dusty roadside. As she approached the corner near the old church, she heard muffled crying. At first, she thought it was a baby, but then she saw a young boy, thin, dusty, and visibly shaking. He sat on a rock beside a bush, wiping his face with a dirty sleeve. She paused. "Hey, are you okay?" The boy looked up, startled, and quickly turned his face away. He tried to stop crying, but the tears wouldn't stop. Afrakoma moved closer, crouched beside him. "Don't worry, I am not here to hurt you. Tell me what's wrong." Between soups, he said, "My mother is sick. She hasn't gotten up since morning, and we haven't eaten anything today." Without another word, she opened her bag and handed the warm pack of noodles to him. "Here, eat this first, then take me to your house." The boy hesitated. "But what about you?" "I'll be fine, let's go." They walked for 10 minutes through narrow paths and behind rusting kiosks until they arrived at a small and unplastered single room. Inside, it was hot and dim. A woman, clearly his mother, lay curled on her mat, a hand resting limply on her chest. Her breathing was shallow, and she looked like she hadn't eaten in days. "Auntie," Afrakoma whispered as she entered. "Can you hear me?" The woman barely opened her eyes. She nodded slightly. "I brought food. Let me help you sit." She helped the woman into a sitting position, propped her back with a folded cloth, and gave her water. Then she encouraged her to eat slowly. The woman's hand trembled as she lifted the spoon to her mouth. The room had almost nothing in it. No fan, no cupboard, no proper bed. Just a mattress, a kerosene lamp, and an old stool. The boy sat by the wall, watching everything. "I am Afrakoma," she said. "What's your name?" "Asante," he answered softly. "And your mom?" Auntie Nana, he said. Auntie Nana couldn't finish her food, but at least she ate something. Afrakoma gave her a cup of water to drink. She gently lowered her back to the mat that she was already sitting on. Auntie, please rest for now, Afrakoma said calmly. It was already late, so Afrakoma asked for permission to leave. She told Asante to eat the rest of the food. I will come here early morning with more food, Afrakoma added. Asante quickly ran to hug her and thank her for her kindness. Afrakoma bade them goodbye and left. That food was what she was going to eat that evening, but she just took a bath and went to bed since she has already given it away. Afrakoma returned early the next morning with more food, kenkey and fish. She had barely enough money, but she didn't hesitate. First of all, she checked up on Auntie Nana to see if she was okay. She still lay in the mat. Afrakoma decided to get some drugs for her before her sickness gets worse, but then Auntie Nana needs to eat first. Afrakoma helped her sit up to eat her kenkey. As for Asante, he sat in one corner and enjoyed his hot kenkey and pepper breakfast. After the meal, Afrakoma used some of her gas to boil water for bathing Auntie Nana. She washed Auntie Nana's clothes, swept the small house, and bought some medicine and oranges from her own pocket. Afrakoma was now like a family to Auntie Nana. Afrakoma only went to work in the afternoon and came back early in the evenings just to take care of her new family. This act of kindness went on for 5 days. She made sure they ate. She comforted Asante. She even helped clean the small wounds on Auntie Nana's legs caused by prolonged lying down. By the 6th day, Auntie Nana could sit up without help. By the 7th day, she was standing again and back to her tomato business. I don't know how to thank you, Auntie Nana said. You have saved us, and as for today, Asante was very happy to return back to school. Afrakoma only smiled. We are all each other's helpers. One day, you will help someone too. Moreover, you are like a mother to me. Auntie Nana just hugged Afrakoma as she burst into tears of joy. It was already morning and she was heading to the farm to get some tomatoes which she will be selling in the market the next day. Afrakoma escorted her and carried the tomatoes home. When they got to Auntie Nana's compound, Afrakoma gently placed down the basket of tomatoes as she heard Auntie Nana say, I wish I had a daughter like you. Those words really got her emotional as she lowered her sad face. Auntie Nana noticed that something was wrong. I am so sorry, my dear, if what I said made you sad, Auntie Nana said calmly. It's okay, Auntie. You have not done anything wrong. Auntie Nana slowly walked towards her and placed Afrakoma's head on her chest. It's hard to lose a very close beloved, especially a mother. Tears were just blowing down Afrakoma's eyes. For the first time in a long time, she has remembered her mother again. She always tries to forget what happened and just move on in life, but the sorrow from within her keeps coming back. My mother died when I was just 8 years old. She was involved in a car accident. I have grown up to be her girl, but she's not even here to just smile to me or mention my name. Afrakoma was so sad that these words just came slowly and word by word from her mouth. She was deeply sad. Auntie Nana raised Afrakoma's head and smiled. She mentioned Afrakoma's name gently. Afrakoma, even though she was crying, just became a little excited and hugged Auntie Nana heavily. Her lips were moving quickly to show that she was saying some words, but the one that was clear was, "Thank you, mother." Auntie Nana just told Afrakoma to get home and rest so she can actually go to work in the evening. "It shall be alright, and don't worry about anything. Just know that I am always here for you." Afrakoma went home to rest as Auntie Nana suggested. Asante and Afrakoma had grown closer. He began calling her Sister Afra. She found out he was in JHS3 but old school keys and hadn't registered for his BAC final exams yet. Without discussing it, Afrakoma just paid for it. One Saturday, she sat with Asante under a neem tree near his house. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" she asked. "A doctor," he said quickly, "so I can help people like you helped my mom." She smiled and nodded. "Then you must study hard. It's not easy, but you can do it." Asante asked the same question. Afrakoma was still holding her breath and not unsure of what to tell Asante. She said, "I also want to be a doctor, a midwife to be precise." You can tell Asante was surprised because he knows Sister Afra sells Indomie, and so how can she have such a big dream? "I want to gather enough money before I start school," she said. It was almost as though she knew what Asante was thinking. Asante, who was just smiling, said, "Then I guess you have a lot of money now." She laughed. "I actually used some to pay for your school fees and registration fees." "You are the best auntie in the whole world," Asante screamed softly with joy. The next morning, Asante was already up and preparing to leave for school. Auntie Nana helped him and also prepared to leave for the market. When Afrakoma got to their house, they were ready to leave the house. She decided to just escort Asante to school. "So do you also have siblings?" Asante asked, showing a confused face. "No, I am the only child of my parents. My mom passed away earlier in my life, and my father is now in our village." Afrakoma said this quickly, just to end the conversation, so she doesn't become sad and emotional again. "Okay, so when is your BEC exams coming off?" Afrakoma clearly asked this to change the topic for discussion. "Oh, we will actually start 5 days from now," Asante answered her. "I think I better be going to work now, so I will leave you here. Learn hard, okay?" Afrakoma pleaded. Asante just nodded and hugged Afrakoma and left. Afrakoma just continued to her Indomie stand. When BEC results came out, Asante was among the top scorers in the district. He had done so well that he was offered a scholarship to study abroad through an education foundation.